The training deck of the Galactic Unity hummed with the quiet efficiency of a dozen species learning to work together. Commander Zefkar, a towering Vorthan with crystalline skin that reflected the ship's harsh lighting, surveyed the mixed group of cadets with calculating orange eyes. His reputation preceded him, a veteran of 3 border conflicts, known for his unconventional training methods. Among the cadets stood Marcus Chun, the lone human in a sea of alien forms. At average height by human standards, he appeared almost diminutive next to the hulking Krillian cadets and the elegant, elongated Selenians. But Marcus had learned long ago that appearances could be deceiving, especially when it came to humans among the stars. "Today," Zefkar announced, his voice carrying the metallic undertone common to his species, "we discussed the chain of command, obedience, discipline." His gaze swept across the assembled cadets before settling on a young Alderaan named Kip Tall, whose blue-green skin had paled noticeably. "Some of you still don't understand the gravity of military hierarchy." Kip Tall's forearms trembled slightly. The Alderaans were known for their artistic talents, and diplomatic nature warriors they were not. Marcus had noticed the young cadet struggling with the more aggressive aspects of their training, often freezing during combat simulations. "Cadet Kip Tall," Zefkar's voice cut through the silence like a plasma blade. "Step forward." The Alderaan complied, his movements hesitant. Marcus felt a familiar tension building in his chest, the same feeling he'd had as a child watching bullies corner smaller kids on Earth playgrounds. "Tell me, Cadet," Zefkar continued, circling the trembling alien, "what is the first rule of military engagement?" "2. To follow orders without question, sir," Kipto stammered. "Correct. And yet, yesterday during the boarding simulation, you hesitated. You questioned Sergeant Vextar's order to advance on the mock enemy position." Zefkar stopped directly in front of the cadet. "Such hesitation gets soldiers killed." "Sir, I was merely assessing the tactical situation. The strike came without warning." Zefkar's crystalline fist connected with Kipto's narrow chest, sending the Alderaan sprawling across the deck. The other cadets flinched, some stepping back instinctively. Kipto gasped, his forearms clutching his torso as he struggled to breathe. "That," Zefkar declared, "is what hesitation earns you. Questions are for the classroom. On the battlefield, you act." Marcus felt something ancient and primal surge through his veins, something his species had carried from the African savanna to the depths of space. His hands clenched into fists, and his vision seemed to narrow, focusing solely on the Vorthan, Commander towering over the injured cadet. "With respect, sir," Marcus said, his voice steady despite the fire burning in his chest, "I believe you've made your point." Zefkar turned, his orange eyes glinting with what might have been amusement. "Have I, human? And what point would that be?" "That you're willing to assault a cadet to demonstrate authority." Marcus stepped forward, positioning himself between the commander and Kiptall, who was still struggling to rise. "Though I'm not sure what that teaches us about leadership." A ripple of shocked whispers passed through the assembled cadets. No one spoke to Commander Zefkar that way, certainly not a first-year cadet from a species barely 2 centuries into spaceflight. "Careful, human." Zefkar's voice dropped to a dangerous whisper. "Your species may have impressed the Council with your enthusiasm for conflict, but you're still just a cadet. Know your place." "I know my place," Marcus replied, his voice carrying that particular tone humans use when they made a decision that couldn't be unmade. "It's between bullies and their victims." The word bully didn't translate perfectly into galactic standard, but the meaning was clear enough. Zefkar's crystalline features darkened, his skin shifting from clear to an ominous purple hue. "You dare. I dare a lot of things, Commander." Marcus rolled his shoulders, a gesture that looked casual, but wasn't. "See, where I come from. We have a saying, pick on someone your own size." Zefkar laughed, a sound like grinding glass. "Your own size? Human, I am twice your mass, and my bones are living crystal." "You're soft flesh," Marcus moved, not with the elegant precision of a Selenian martial artist or the brutal efficiency of a Krillian warrior. but with something uniquely human: the desperate, cunning violence of a species that had clawed its way to the top of its food chain. Despite being neither the strongest nor the fastest predator on its world, the human's first strike targeted Zefkar's left knee joint, where the crystalline structure was weakest. His second, delivered in the same fluid motion, caught the surprised commander in what humans called the solar plexus. The Vorthen doubled over, gasping, and Marcus's final strike, perfectly executed uppercut, caught Zefkar's jutting chin. The sound of crystalline bone meeting human knuckle echoed through the training deck like a bell. Commander Zefkar's eyes rolled back, and he toppled backward, unconscious before he hit the deck. The training bay fell silent, except for the soft hum of the ship's life support systems. Marcus stood over the fallen commander, his knuckles bleeding from the impact with crystalline bone, but his expression calm. "The thing about humans," he said to the stunned cadets, extending a hand to help Kipto to his feet, "is that we don't really care about size differences. We care about right and wrong." He looked around at the mixed group of alien faces, some horrified, others impressed, all surprised. And beating up cadets to prove a point? That's wrong in any language. Later, as Marcus sat in the brig awaiting his inevitable court-martial, he reflected on the events. He might have ended his military career before it began, but Kipto was safe, and the other cadets had learned something important about humanity that no textbook could teach. Sometimes the human way wasn't about being the strongest or the smartest. Sometimes it was simply about refusing to let strength be used against the defenseless, even if it meant knocking out your commanding officer to prove the point.